Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn about the functions of management. There are 5 functions of management. They are planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Management is nothing but ways by which a person manages people and control them in an organization. Manager is the one who is responsible for managing people. So we can say the manager is responsible for creating, directing, maintaining and operating the organization through systematic and cooperative efforts. The primary functions of management include planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. But in this video we are going to discuss the first function of management, that is planning. As we all know, planning is the first and most important function of management. It involves setting objectives in advance, a goal which is to be achieved within a fixed time. Various alternatives are formulated in order to achieve these goals. The best course of action is then selected, which will help the organization to achieve its objectives. It is deciding in advance what to do, how to do, when to do and by whom it is to be done. So we can say planning is a process of setting objectives by gathering information and by analyzing the future situations and then later selecting a suitable course of action from the available alternatives which can be helpful to achieve a desired level of organizational objectives with competitive advantage. Now let's see the importance or advantage of planning. Planning is definitely significant as it directs us where to go, it furnishes direction and decreases the danger of risk by making predictions. Now let's understand the importance of planning for the organization. The first importance or advantage is planning increases efficiency. Planning makes optimum utilization of all available resources. It helps to reduce the wastage and avoids duplication of work. So we can say planning is done to select a suitable course of action to reach out to goals by doing the right things in a right manner, as plans are made to utilize the available resources in an efficient manner. The next importance is planning reduces business related risk. Planning helps to forecast the business related risk and also helps to take necessary precautions to avoid this risk and prepare for future uncertainties. So we can say planning is a future oriented process, which means through planning we try to predict the future and prepare ourselves to perform better in an organization. The next importance is planning encourages creativity and innovation. Planning helps the managers to express their creativity and innovation. It brings satisfaction to the managers and eventually success to the organization. So we can say planning helps innovative and creative thinking among the managers because many new ideas come to the mind of a manager when he is planning, which creates a forward-looking attitude among the managers. The next advantage or importance of planning is planning provides direction. Direction means to give a proper information, accurate instructions and guidance to the subordinates. Planning tells us what to do, how to do and when to do. It helps the organization to achieve the goals through systematic coordination of the employees. So we can say planning provides the direction and sense of purpose for the organization, as it provides the broad targets to be achieved by the organization by providing guidance in terms of policy and procedures which the organization try to achieve by setting their targets. We can say without planning, organization will not know what to do, how to do and when to do. The next importance is planning helps in motivation. A good plan provides various financial and non-financial incentives to both managers and employees. These incentives motivate them to work hard and achieve the objectives of the organization. So we can say planning is helpful to improve the morale and confidence of the employees by providing them several pay benefits based on their job performance, which motivates them to achieve the organizational objectives by working on the common goals. The next importance is planning helps in decision making. A manager makes many different plans, then they evaluate every course of action and choose the best strategy. So, decision making is facilitated by planning. So, we can say planning plays a vital role in decision making as it ensures better control over the activities in a better manner. The next importance of planning is planning helps to achieve objectives. Without planning, each and every activity will be based on trial and error, which will give rise to confusion. Every organization has certain targets, so planning helps an organization to achieve their aims by avoiding overlapping, confusion, and misunderstanding. So we can say planning is a goal-oriented process which can be helpful to define the roles and responsibilities of each employee towards the common goal within the workplace. The last importance and advantage of planning is planning provides basis of control. Controlling records the actual performance and compares it with standards set. In case the performance is less than the standard set, then deviations are ascertained and proper corrective measures are taken to improve the performance in future. Now let's see the steps in planning process. The first step is establishing variable goals. The first step in planning is to determine the enterprise objectives. These are more often set by upper level managers. The objective may vary from a desired sales volume or growth rate to development of a new product. So we can say variable goals provide direction to various activities in the enterprise through consideration of the business environment, since the establishment will decide how the overall organization will move and act in a given framework. The next step of planning process is establishing planning premises. Plans are made to operate in the future. The second step in planning is to establish planning premises, that is, assumptions on the basis of which plan will be ultimately formulated. Planning premises are vital to the success of planning as they supply important facts and information related to the future like population trends, economic condition, production cost and government control. So we can say by establishing planning premises, the scanning of the internal and external business environment can be done, which can be helpful for the organization to set and achieve their objectives. We can say it helps in making assumptions about the sales, cost, prices, products, technological development in the future. The assumptions along with the future forecast provide a basis for the plans in a better manner. The next step in planning process is deciding the planning period. The next task is to decide the period of the plan, whether it's a yearly plan or a plan which is spread over for a long span of time. Choice of planning period is decided based on the time required in development of new product, time required to recover capital investment and length of commitments already made. The fourth step in planning process is finding an alternative course of action. The next step in planning is to search for and examine alternative course of action. The manager should work out a number of alternative plans to achieve the targets. For example, product may be sold directly to the customers by the company's salesman or through exclusive agencies. So we can say it is always better to determine the alternative course of action, as without alternative the organization may have to face several challenges and may have to face several risks. The next step is evaluating and selecting a course of action. Having searched the alternative courses, the next step is to evaluate and analyze them in the light of premises and goals and select the best alternative. This is done with the help of quantitative techniques and operations research. So we can say the manager has to evaluate the alternatives in terms of degree of achievement to desired objectives, requirement of resources, time and money, and rate of return on investment. The planner should take the help of various quantitative techniques and operation research like probability theory, game theory, linear programming, etc. to make his choice more objective and beneficial. The next step is implementing the plan. The best possible course of action has now to be implemented, that is, by putting the plan into action. For this, the managers have to develop a derivative plan for each department. A draft version of the action plan should be communicated to inform those directly affected so that they can gain their cooperation. So we can say implementation of the plan can be helpful in designing the organization's structure, in distributing the resources, in developing the decision-making process, and in managing the human resources in a better manner. The last step in planning process is measuring and controlling the program. The process of controlling is a critical part of any plan. Managers need to check the progress of their plans, that is, follow up, so that they can take a remedial action if the plan is not working as per schedule or change the original plan if it is unrealistic. So this step can be helpful to ensure the resources of the organization are utilized efficiently and effectively, and the execution of the plans and achievement of objectives are done in a desired manner. And later, the corrective action can be taken accordingly by making changes in the existing plans and strategy and work approaches, which can be helpful in meeting the business environmental changes in a better manner. Now, let's see the conclusion of planning. In the planning stage, managers establish the organizational goals and create a course of action to achieve them. During the planning phase, management makes the strategic decisions in order to set up proper work action. While planning, managers usually evaluate internal and external factors that may affect the execution of the plan, such as economic growth, customers, competitors, etc. Planning bridges the gap between where we are and where we want to go. All the other functions of management like organizing, staffing, directing and controlling are dependent on planning. So, planning is related to future and it is a continuous process. All the organization have to make a plan before they start a business or execute any project. So, we can say planning is one of the most important function of management, which defines the objectives, policies and procedures, rules and regulation and strategies of the organization, which can be helpful to increase their productivity and profitability by utilizing the available resources and by managing the work activities of the employees towards the predetermined goals of the organization with coordinated efforts. If you find this video helpful, please like, share the video and don't forget to subscribe my channel Management Learning. Thank you.